Hello and welcome to the Hit the Post podcast episode what?
Seven, six,
Seven?
no,
Six?
six,
Hold
six,
on.
six.
I'm
Right
checking, I'm
start.
checking. Hello and welcome to the Hit the Post podcast episode 7. I know I apologize for being late this time. Unfortunately, all three of us were taking a break from the shithousery that happens on this podcast. So I wanted to personally apologize because I was the first one to put my hands up and say, I don't want to be so involved. So we took a little break, and that's why we're recording late. Uh, and on that note as well, we had a guest scheduled, and he cancelled. So unfortunately, we're left with you, Harsh Chetan. So we're left with another Harsh quiet conversation. And yeah, Harsh Chetan, tell me how you're doing.
Like always, really excited for for this podcast, and your intro never gets old. I think when you said you really wanted to leave this podcast, I think Chopra, time to get him out.
Excuse me.
Le-
I never said
Sorry,
that.
let's.
guest don't get a say. Guest
That's what
don't
I
get a
am
say.
saying.
Harsh,
Anyways,
Harsh, we'll ask you
so,
the questions. You just answer them. Please don't add any
yeah,
extra
just
input into this.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
quietly,
First time on
quietly,
the show,
quietly.
na, so I need to.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But anyways, getting on to the topics of this week, we will be going over the football this week, obviously, FTW, where we talk about the usual themes that are happening in football. Then we'll be going over the transfer bandwagon because the transfer market is still on, and a ton of stuff to talk about, especially considering that we just signed Thiago and Jota. So I'm really excited to talk about that as well. And Harsh Chopra's favorite segment, Fantasy Street, a walk down Fantasy Street. So let's get started on this
Lane.
and let's go, lads. Let's go. I'm pumped.
Woo!
Okay. So,
just
anyways,
just to just to correct you, I know I'm a guest out here, but it's a walk down fantasy lane. It's fine. I mean, the
I
host
mean,
fumbles sometime, but it's fine.
okay. People who care about this what he just said, please comment down below. So, yeah. Okay. Anyways, so let's get on to the main stuff that happened this week, which was obviously the fixtures. Last game week
Ooh.
was quite a few interesting ones and so many goals. I think there were like 38 goals and 4 penalties, 2 hat tricks, and quite a very interesting game week, I must say. What do you think, Harsh Chopra?
Yeah, we saw a lot of goals this game week. Being a United fan, I don't really want to talk about this game week, but I have a feeling that something like this is going to happen quite often. So I might have to get used to it.
I'm glad you're setting your expectations right. This is important because I can
Hey,
also see this
listen.
happening very often.
Hey, listen. You can't be disappointed if you don't expect much. So
Word to
Wow,
live
this
by.
it's
words
it's
to live
it's
by.
nice how he says it right as soon as the season starts. No expectation.
Word to live by. Apparently United are in the relegation zone right now.
Hey, hold on.
Great
Listen.
start.
It happened. The same thing happened last year as well. We were in the relegation zone, I think, 3, 4 game weeks in. Look where we finished. 30
Yeah,
points
just
behind
scraping
Liverpool.
Wow.
through top four.
I
only
mean, that is
only
also
only
fine.
Yeah, that's also true, but only 30 points behind Liverpool. So that's one thing that's very interesting. But I want to talk to you about the main game of the week, which was Liverpool Chelsea. Harsh, Chetan, tell me, did you see that game?
Yep, that was a exhilarating game because everyone was really excited to see all the new boys perform in our Premier League, and that's a must-watch game. And I think Liverpool performed really well. Although Chelsea put up a fight, but once they got the red card, I think it was downhill from there.
Did they put up a fight?
I mean, before the red card, I saw the goals to be nil all, so I assumed they put up a fight. But
Um,
two standouts for me were Werner for in Chelsea because Werner is continuously making those behind the line, the back line runs that that can be really dangerous at times if they're executed right. But I think Chelsea should focus on how to supply the ball more to Werner, and he scored 28 goals last season, and I think it should be easy for him to do it now. And I
Chelsea.
know, one second, one more point, and I know you're going to speak about, oh, Thiago played amazing. He had the most passes, more than Chelsea. Yeah, but
I was not going to say that.
he played. No, not you, Chopra. I'm talking about Vihan. The
I was.
Liverpool supporter and talks about all random shit. Yeah, so he ate Chelsea were one man down, and they had to defend because they also went to like Mane scored two beautiful goals. Yeah, but he was dictating the midfield really well.
Harsh, I would love to stop you there. I think you're a little drunk right now. So,
So yeah, I mean, I'm
okay.
just half a bottle down.
So basically, I must say that I was overjoyed with the performance. I think the performance we smashed it out of the park. Everyone was sharp. Fabinho filled in the defense really well, and he marked Warner solid. Like I think probably if Mane didn't score both the goals, he would be the man of the match for me. And getting on to Mane, obviously he did score, and I think it was mainly because of Kepa that that he actually got these because even the red card was because of Kepa. He was stuck in no man's land, and even the second goal, which was a complete howler. I'm sure all Chelsea fans can agree with me on this when I say Kepa is shite. So, so yeah, I mean, like getting onto the game, I could talk for hours about it, but I saw a lot of positive things, and I think Liverpool are starting to turn up and really defend this championship title really well. And getting on to Thiago, I would like to finish off with this. Um, he was fantastic, dude. He was amazing. He bossed the midfield. He
I
broke the
told you.
Premier League record. So if nobody knows, he broke the Premier League record for the most amount of passes ever in one single half in the Premier League ever. So so those are stats that are amazing for a debut. But he also gave away a penalty, so I'm not going to comment on that too much because it was kind of a mixed debut. But I don't know if Chopra will agree with me on this or not. But his performance was very much like Paul Scholes. I think the penalty and the passing, the accuracy in it was amazing. What do you think, Chopra?
Yeah, I mean, if he does that for 15 more years at Liverpool, then I'll agree with you. But good point. I didn't really see the match, to be honest. I was just too depressed that weekend after United's fixture and FPL as well, which we will be talking about later. But I did see the highlights. I saw the red card. I feel if Christensen had left him alone, Kepa might have reached there. To be honest, he might have reached the
I think
ball
he was
if.
stuck in no man's land. He was in no man's land.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at it back, I think if Christensen had just left Man, obviously he couldn't. Like he couldn't predict the fact that Kepa would sweep in. I mean, who trusts Kepa nowadays? But uh, and the
I do.
and the second goal
Not.
was just pure Kepa. Like honestly, I mean, Chel- I mean, I feel sorry for the guy. Like he's had such a bad season last time around. Now he started the season with. I think he made a mistake in the first match as well.
Yep, he did.
Not sure. So
He
yeah.
did.
So
He
now
bundled it into the goal.
yeah. So two mistakes. Chelsea have signed a new goalkeeper. Their 75 million man is probably not going to be their main man for long now.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. So, on that note, I think we've covered the most exciting game. Now let's cover the most exciting game after that, which was. Has Chopra, you want to take a guess?
Was it Everton?
No, no,
What?
no, 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 no.
Hey, it, it,
It
it
was
had goals.
it was your beloved. It was your beloved United. So tell me, I didn't watch the game because I could not care less, honestly. So tell me, what did I miss?
Uh, United
Oh, dude.
conceding. Lindelof fucking up. Then where should I begin? Oh, by the way, I think I should point this out of how bad my weekend was. Okay, first, Zaha scores two
Okay,
goals.
guys, this is officially not a Liverpool. It's not Hit the Post podcast. It's a weekend podcast. Go ahead,
It's
Chopra.
it's a United rant podcast. All right. So how it started off. Zaha scores two goals. Right. Former player. Apparently, if you've heard Evra's comments, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it out here, but Yeah, that as well. Then I took out Son for Bruno Fernandes in my FPL team. I took a
We
minus
can get
8.
to that later.
No,
Did you
we are
go?
going to. We are going to. I'm just pointing out how bad my weekend was. Okay,
Oh my
took
god.
him out for Bruno Fernandes, captain Bruno Fernandes. All right, so got 2 points. United concede 3 goals at Old Trafford. First game of the season. It's good to be back, boys. It's good to be back.
I thought you were gonna go on
No, no,
because
no,
I
no.
was the one
I
more
mean,
wrong.
we don't want to be
No,
here for like 2-3 hours, to be honest.
you'll also have not got a first signing
No, hold on.
that you're
He's saying
No,
looking
Van de
for.
Beek.
no. Van de Beek and
Van de
Not
Beek.
not
also
not that way. I mean the one that you really want. I'm not gonna name him because I know
Okay,
it's
if we are going into
Van de
that
Beek
trajectory, we also lost out Reguline to Tottenham. And
and Bale.
to be fair about Reguline, the deal that was offered, I'm in a way glad that we didn't take it, but I'm pissed that we are not getting fucking signings.
Hey
How is this
but
happening?
dude, this
guys,
is hilarious.
our video will get demonetized on YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. You have 2 few followers for that.
No one
So
cares.
go ahead.
Just shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
man.
Okay, okay. Don't
Oh
overdo it
god.
now.
Okay, so
What
clearly,
the fuck?
Harsh Chopra, you had a great weekend, bro.
Great
I think
weekend,
I
yeah,
think
nice.
I had a great weekend as well. And honestly, I think Harsh Cheran,
I mean,
Man City,
of
yeah,
course, that was a good, much needed three win because it was against Wolves and will be away, which is one of the toughest games, as even Pep said, and even Klopp has said. Facing Wolves away is
Anfield.
one of the. Arey yaar, accept your Anfield. Oh God, please. I understand. We'll see when City plays Liverpool in Anfield.
Hey,
Okay, we'll
listen.
see how that game
Uh, I
turns
mean,
Done.
out.
Manchester City versus Portugal it'll be a tough match, right? I mean, you can't just say that it's going to be an easy match, to be honest.
And the Portugal
I
national
mean,
team. I mean,
team.
excluding Joao Felix and
Imagine.
Ronaldo.
Oh, of course.
And
Imagine.
now Jota, and now Jota.
Good one. That was a
So
good one. Nice.
so
Yeah.
okay. So now let's get on to the hat tricks of the week, which was obviously Son scored 4 goals, which he's
Oof.
absolutely killing it now. I think now Tottenham are starting to come alive, and it's very rare to see Tottenham score 5 goals. I must say, especially Mourinho's side. What do you think,
I
Harsh
mean,
I,
Chopra?
I want to point this out about Tottenham and Southampton. I'm not going to talk about FPL right now. Don't worry. Talking about their performance in general. Uh, Tottenham played, obviously they played well. They scored 5 goals. But if you go back and see the match, right? First half they were very bad. Southampton they were dominating the match. Second half, yes, they broke through. But Southampton, the way they play, they put pressure on the opponents, and it is something that is not sustainable for long. This happens same with Leeds United. It happens with Southampton where they always keep
Norwich.
Norwich, right? They keep their line ahead and they do that against big teams as well. Sometimes it works, sometimes you get performances where you say, wow, this team plays really well. But most of the times, what happens is that you play such kind of a game plan against good teams. They will break through, and once you concede 1 goal, then uh, it'll create a pattern. And
Yeah,
if
probably a very risky plan, I would say.
Yeah, and if you see the goals, there were 4 Kane assists, 4 Son goals. Kane was just giving the through balls, and it was just one, two touch pass goals. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not taking the performance away from Southampton. All I'm saying is that I don't think Tottenham will be able to keep such high intensity performances in the next few matches. They've got. Obviously, they have good fixtures, but teams will be more
really
smarter
good.
than Southampton going
Yeah,
ahead.
definitely. Yeah, I agree on that.
Also,
Um,
didn't Kane break the record or something like that about
I think
for
he's
some
equaled it.
four? He
He equaled
equaled
it.
him.
So actually,
Yeah.
last year Kyle Walker Peters also got 4 assists, and he the third person to do that. I think, if I'm not wrong, ever
Oh.
in Premier League history. So he probably must have,
But
and
to the same
Arshavin as well.
person, to the same
Huh?
person. I think it was a record
Yeah,
that he assisted
I don't know about the
four.
same person,
Yeah, but dude, the connection was unreal. I think in one
chemistry
of his
wise.
yeah one of his post match interviews he said like they realized how Chopra said they realized how high Southampton played their back line. So he said, Sonny, you make the run and I'll give you the ball. and that worked out really well.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think it was quite a good tactic, very basic and worked efficiently.
Pretty, yeah.
So
I have a
so
question for you guys,
not at last.
right?
Yeah,
If you're Ndomble right now, how do you feel?
like shit, like
Did you
I
shit.
see
mean,
the
Because
play he made for the first goal just before
he
halftime?
was performing. Apparently, it was tactical, as Mourinho would say. He said he tactically removed
Yeah, I
Ndombele
mean, to be
to get
honest,
in Lo Celso.
Spurs did
I
play
mean,
better when
honestly,
he left, like when he was off.
Yeah,
no, but you don't sign him for 50 mil or 60 mil or whatever,
and then don't
and
play him.
do
Yeah.
this. So it just, I mean, it's another Kepa situation where they want to get rid of him and then he can't leave and stuff like that.
What,
So
you didn't see the documentary? He's working hard.
the
Just read
All
the
or
full
Nothing
docu.
Spurs documentary.
Yeah.
It's a
Just
must watch.
clarifying.
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But probably the underdogs of the week, Everton, they're really starting to show form. They're really starting to show up every time, and they are leading the Premier League on goal difference. No joke. It's Everton, Arsenal, Liverpool. No, sorry, Everton, Liverpool, Arsenal. So right now, does it feel weird, Harsh Chopra, to have Everton first and United in relegation?
I mean, it feels weird, but again,
Oh lad.
it's not sustainable
It's
You
because
too
never know.
early. I would say it's still
because
too
it's
early to
no. Here's the thing: one player gets injured from that first team, and it's all back
Oh,
to square one.
I agree.
Yeah,
You tell me
they
Anyone
don't.
if James Rodriguez gets injured, you're gonna have Theo Walcott in that wing.
Wow,
No,
there's
they'll
some
have
Arsenal
Gomez.
fans who will
They'll have
totally
Andre
disagree with
Gomez,
that.
Gomez is already in the team, first team. I'm
Gomez is in
saying
the
if
first
Sigurdsson,
team.
Sigurdsson,
Sigurdsson.
he's gonna take.
Sigurdsson is a good replacement.
So you think Sigurdsson is a player for a team that's gonna be in top four of a Premier League?
I don't think so, but he's a good like backup. I would say.
No,
I mean, I would not call him. I would not rate him that high, but I would rate him
no.
as a good backup. Definitely better than Origi. So, I mean, Liverpool
Wow, the
legend
guy
there. Liverpool
who
legend.
beat
Espanyol, I swear,
yeah, the guy
Liverpool
who scored
legend.
the goal to beat Barcelona and potentially made
Okay.
or win
I
the UCL.
apologize. I
You just
apologize.
hated on
I
that man.
apologize.
That guy's colored
I
his hair
apologize.
right now to look good and to
Yeah, that's what we
impress
pay him
Liverpool
for.
fans.
That's what we pay him for. Okay, but like that's what happened in the Premier League. Okay, now one thing happened in the French league that was really surprising that I found like the only reason why anyone would actually look at the French league because otherwise nobody gave a shit. So PSG not only lost to Marseille, but they got 5 red cards and Neymar included. What do you think about that, Harsh Chetan?
Oh, I think it was during the last end of the game, right, where the big clash happened.
Yeah.
Dude, that to see 5 red cards in a game, it's something to catch headlines. Maybe that's why we're talking about it in the podcast. Because and there were a
Yeah,
lot of
football
back
this
and forth.
week.
Yeah, and there was back and forth with Neymar and the guy he fouled. I don't remember his name, but on Twitter they were really
Hmm.
going at each other.
apparently Neymar
Yeah,
accused
Yeah,
him
exactly.
of racism, I think.
oh yeah, I know. I read that tweet from
So
him, but it's fun,
yes,
spicy.
so after the game got over, I think what he said was that I regret nothing, and the only thing I would want to do now is punch the guy in the face.
Celebrate, No, he said
So
celebrate with your team or something like that.
no, to punch the guy in the face because he said he
Oh
was
yeah,
racist.
that's right.
So that
Correct.
one.
I
So
mean, but
anyway, that's what
right
happened.
now,
Yeah.
there's a Spanish radio that they're basically claiming that Neymar was the one who's being racist, and they have proof of it. They haven't released the proof,
How
but
then that means no
apparently
proof.
at
But
it's a
why
Spanish
the
radio,
Spanish?
and
Exactly.
Neymar's accusation is against a Spanish player. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
get the link.
Okay. Got it. Okay, but anyways, let's move on because there's nothing else to
Hmm.
talk about in the Spanish league. Uh, so what else happened in the German league? That's right, French league, Farmers League. Sorry.
No issues.
Uh,
No issues.
so this time the German league was pretty exciting, I would say, but clear dominance. Clear dominance. I mean, Bayern won what 8-0,
8-0
and yeah, and uh,
Just
Dortmund.
uh, Dortmund won 3-0. So I mean, you can clearly see the dominance coming out, and also it also shows that both these teams have carried on the form from last season into the start. So I mean, Chopra, tell me more about it.
Yeah, Bayern, the first match of the season, they're already winning 8-0. I mean, it's like they've not left off from the last season, and this is without Thiago. I think now they are
Yeah.
playing. They're playing Kimmich in the middle, and they have Sane.
Hmm.
It's I mean, you can't, but like you can probably bet on them winning the treble again if they continue this form.
Yeah. I
It's
think
still
it's
tough, but
something to watch out for.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
to Serge Gnabry, he scored a hat trick. I mean, he always scores hat tricks when they win, like in the
Hmm.
huge margins
I
because
wonder what West
it
Brom are
nil.
thinking right now. Look, seeing him score goals and goals and goals.
Uh,
Non-stop. But Thiago too busy enjoying life in
London.
Liverpool, so I don't think he's
Liverpool.
already managed. He's already Liverpool is really far up north from London,
Yeah, I
so
understand. I meant to say the
really far.
UK,
Uh,
but yeah, continue.
yeah, but like honestly, like I watched a lot of introductory videos of him, so I can tell that he's enjoying a lot, and he's really fitting well into life. But anyway,
Okay, okay, okay.
getting
Just
that
yeah,
on
yeah.
to a new
Stop,
topic.
please. Enough of jizzing over his name, man. Just
Yeah,
continue.
for
Just a player. Don't get too
for,
hyped.
for 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 people who don't know, I have been talking about this for a full week. This is what my entire week has been about. I've just been boasting and bragging about Thiago. So I mean, I'm not even sorry.
Again, you're not stopping. It's fine. Like once
Okay,
it's out, don't rub it in.
done,
Continue.
done, 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 done. Anyways, so that was football this week, FTW. And now on to our next segment, which is the transfer bandwagon. And as I said before, we've got a lot of shit to talk about because there's been a lot of stuff happening, and the transfer market is coming to an end soon. So I can understand why teams are all over the place right now. So starting with like let's start with like out of the FPL because I think there's been a lot of stuff happening there as well. So Harsh Chopra, there's
1 second, hold
Morata
on.
to
Sorry, guys, sorry. That's an insect.
superb. So now we will be talking about the transfer bandwagon. Okay, so now I know there's been a lot of shit happening, but let's start with the outside of the EPL kind of stuff so that we can slowly get down to the crux of the topic. Crux means like the center. So getting down to the crux of the topic, um, Morata has has almost signed for Juventus. He's going back on a loan for 10 million and with an option to buy for 45 million. So what do you think about that, Harsh Chopra?
I mean, Morata has wow the deals that he's pulled up in these couple of years.
Oh
I tell
god.
you,
To Chelsea, he
Yeah.
went for I think around 60
60,
million, 60 million, right?
60.
Then back to
Yep.
Atletico after performing
Again
after
60.
not performing. No, I think it was 50,
No,
40.
no. Yeah.
I mean, to the point, big amount for him, right? Now
Yeah.
again to Juventus, 10 million loan, and on top of that, 45 million if they want to buy him in the future. You want to sign his agent, like just get hold of his agent, sign
Of
him,
course.
and you'll be earning
Dude,
so much money for
dude,
yourself.
the best comparison to Morata that I can think of is a Spanish Origi because he's
And
nothing. I do
I
not
would
rate the
still,
kid at all.
of
At all.
course, that guy has hardly scored goals. He has a transfer budget himself alone of over 200 million. That's how much he's been transferred out.
Dead.
I don't know how his price keeps on increasing if he doesn't perform. And all the best clubs go for him. It's not like there were like some like clubs like either United or
Harsh,
something
I
like that
think
will go for
Is
it.
Chelsea a best
Well,
club?
yeah, but at that
Just
time they
making
did
sure.
win. They were winning. They won the UCL and then they won the Premier League
They
also.
didn't win the UCL.
ooh,
They did at
They
that
won
time
the
when they got.
EPL.
Oh yeah, maybe I maybe got it wrong, but they must have. They won a trophy and then they signed it.
I have no clue. What do you
Yeah,
think, Harsh
but
Chopra?
I mean, yeah, Morata, I just don't know what where to start with him. I remember, I remember when,
oh, that.
I remember when United signed Lukaku, and I think there was talks about United either signing Lukaku or Morata. And this was after,
Both were shit.
no, at least Lukaku did well in his
Look,
first season.
dude,
He scored 25
Lukaku
goals in
is
his
a
first season.
yeah.
So he did well comparatively to
Yeah,
Morata.
definitely,
But uh,
definitely.
but I think Chelsea signed him after winning the league last season, if I'm not wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Was it that? Or
yeah.
was it
True.
City?
Costa was there.
Costa was there, yeah. Can't remember.
Um,
Leave it there.
Morata.
But
No, no, sorry. He signed when Torres was there.
no, Torres already left. Or he was, actually, I don't know.
I don't
That's
know.
fine.
There
Yeah,
are a lot of
let's
strikers, man. There are a
yeah,
lot of
All right. So
strikers.
the
Anyway,
full
so
point of this transfer thing is that it's ridiculous. I don't know why
yeah,
Juventus are going for it. They are wasting money. I think they're already signing Edin Dzeko as well. I don't know if that's
I
done or
think
no,
that
but
deal broke down. I
not
think
too
that
sure.
because Napoli, Roma were going to buy from Milik from Napoli, and I think
yeah.
that broke down. So I think they hold on to Zeko right now.
Okay, but
Wow, interesting. I mean,
yeah.
getting back to Juventus. Even Suarez was going to go there, and you know what
Oh
happened to him?
yeah,
He
What
cheated on
happened with that?
his he cheated on his Italian language test, and he
wow.
actually got like he got thrown out basically. So
Hey,
that's
isn't
now
that
he's
all
going
of
to
us?
Atletico Madrid.
Come on, guys.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can't you
We've all
can't
been there.
judge him.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just we didn't get
definitely.
caught.
We've all cheated in our life, but I guess when it comes to Suarez, all he's done is dive, cheat, and scam. Literally, I do not like the guy one bit after the way he behaved against Liverpool in the
Still,
Barcelona
isn't he a
Liverpool
Liverpool
finals.
legend?
Yeah, I mean he
He
did
is. See,
score.
the thing is that he is well liked in Liverpool generally, but I think my views definitely changed of him when he came to Anfield and like tried to behave so Suarez esque basically. I would say, and I think he just disrespected the fan by celebrating, and I just don't like him that much anymore.
Vihan is basically saying I like him, but I don't like him.
Don't lie. Yeah, his personal view that no one really cares about. Let's continue.
Diplomatically, you know that I'm talking right, like what I'm saying is right. But like diplomatic, I need to be diplomatic because otherwise our subscribers will unfollow us, and you know what that means.
Of
We will still
what?
be running the channel.
Yeah,
That I mean, it doesn't
I mean, it
mean
doesn't
anything.
change anything, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
yeah, yeah. But we
Talking
do this
about
for you
that,
also. We
where
do
did
this for you
he?
also. Hit the subscribe button. Diplomatic.
In the end, where did he go after failing his test? After getting
Atletico. So he's
what?
gone to a very tasty side. Very, very tasty side. So Morata has gone to
Are they
Juve
though?
now.
Are they tasty?
I
Have you
mean, they
seen
have
I
one
Atletico
of
mean,
play?
the.
they beat Liverpool. I have to say that they're tasty. You know
Okay, I
that's
mean
true.
it's like watching a history documentary on Netflix, bro. Like you sit there, you get bored after like 15, 20 minutes.
Wow.
Wow,
But they win.
wow, so
They
strong.
grind
Yeah, they do.
results. And
They do.
Suarez is perfect. He's perfect. He's what I would say it's in comparison of Diego Costa, who's now left, who's now rumored to leave at least. Um, so he is going to be a very Diego Costa like kind of player for Diego Simeone. So that's going to be very interesting to see. Honestly, like Suarez is kind of the perfect man for Simeone. He got that cojones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
So
Yeah, of course,
so
of course.
so
The
I mean
aggression
now
that he plays with.
exactly. So now Diego Costa's out the door. Suarez is in. Morata is going to Juve. So I mean, there's a lot of switching happening around the strikers, and which is going to be quite something to
Dude, this
watch.
this this reminds me of Chopra's love life.
What? Where did he coming from? But I agree with
Lot,
you. But
lot,
you know
lot,
what?
lot switching
I
and nothing
swear.
happening in the end.
Harsh Chopra, please let's move on from this topic. We don't need your
You know
comeback.
what? I've already had a
Yeah,
bad
yeah, I mean,
weekend.
it's just
I
shoot,
don't
shoot,
need
shoot,
I
shoot,
don't
shoot,
need you guys
shoot.
to say all this now.
Hello. Superb. So now getting on to Liverpool, the main topic and the most interesting and most exciting club in the world. So see, this is going to be a very easy topic for me. So I'm looking forward to this. And where should we start? Should we start with Thiago because that was the main one? And
I mean, I'm gonna say let's start with Jota because I don't think anyone was expecting that.
Yeah,
No,
that.
Thiago is still the main player, and honestly, like a lot of people have told me on Twitter as well. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to follow me, subscribe, whatever. So I'll basically what I'm saying is that a lot of people have been commenting on the fact that Liverpool overpaid for Jota, and Liverpool did he not worth that kind of thing. Now, for that, I just want to say is that Liverpool have done stunning piece of business in my opinion. The fact that we got a world class midfielder for 20 million shows just how well the fact that the average fee is. So say inclusive of Jota and Thiago, our total was 60 mil. You could say that 61 mil. Um, Now, tell me, would you get like a world class midfielder, probably top three in my opinion, top three in the world in my opinion? I would say that that's quite a stunning deal, and a lot of people have been commenting on the fact that Jota is now worth it, but he's 23 and he got so much potential. I don't know if you have watched a lot of Liverpool games, sorry, Wolves games, but Jota has a lot of potential, and he's displaying stats similar to Mane. So I would say that there's some sort of like a either you're going to provide a lot of competition or you're going to provide like this really strong backup option for us. But either way, he won for the future. So everyone stop adding me. Enough is enough because Liverpool have got a bargain on their hands and we are clearly building on the next era. So please stop adding me and tell me what you think, Harsh Chopra.
I mean, in terms of Thiago, obviously it's a very good deal. I'm guessing they got the deal. They got the amount. They paid that much because he was in the last year of his contract. So, which
Yeah.
is why it was possible for them to get him at 20 million. But in terms of Jota, I can understand why people say that he's overpaid, just for the point that he won't be a starter for Liverpool for at least 2-3 seasons. But as you had mentioned, if he does keep up, like if he works hard, if he trains well under Klopp, then I think he will be someone who will. And to be honest, 45 million in today's market is nothing, where players are getting sold for such high prices. So
Yeah,
I
that's true.
honestly, I think it's a good piece of business from Liverpool.
I mean, if you think about it, Ake went to City for 40 million.
Yeah.
So putting that into
It's also a good
perspective,
buy.
Ramsdale went to Sheffield for what 30 million. So if you look at it, we got a stunning deal. And I'll tell you one thing about Jota that I really like is that, like I mentioned before, he's compared his stats to Mane. Like I know Mane used to rip it apart in Southampton, but in this topic, like Jota is 23, he's still a lot left in his future for him, and also the fact that he's a pressing monster. If you've seen his games, he presses like so much, like it's and so efficiently. His work rate is unbelievable. That I think Klopp is going to use him and really exploit his good skills and his good pressing skills. So what do you think about that, Harsh
Uh,
Chetan? Do you think
but
Man City have a good competition?
yeah, clearly, of course. But don't you think Jota was brought in to give a solid backup for Firmino more than Mane? Because I think his role in the Wolves team were like a center forward, and I think him next to Jimenez were deadly combo,
Yeah,
and we saw that last season. Yeah, but I think that's a brilliant piece of transfer, and Liverpool are doing bits to solid. I mean, to fix a team that is really good is really tough,
yeah, yeah.
which Liverpool totally pushed that aside and brought in players that can push them to another level and make them compete for back-to-back titles.
Ash, I would like
Yeah, I
to
think
correct you there. Firmino is a CDM. He's not a striker. So I don't think Jota can replace him.
CDM. Firmino's a
CDM?
CDM.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Okay,
see.
yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
good one. Good one, good one.
Yeah, good one, Mr. United.
I mean, he
Anyways,
clearly doesn't want to attack. I mean, I don't remember when it's the last time he got a goal.
Chelsea, the last game of the season last year.
Okay, before that,
And
asking
before
before
that,
that.
sorry, before that.
I don't want to talk. Before that, I think he got it. He scored away against Southampton in
And
Jan.
how long was that? Oh my God,
Hey,
what a
listen, we'll
striker!
be sitting
Wow.
we'll be sitting here all night if we think about when
Yeah,
Firmino scored. So
yeah,
let's just go ahead.
definitely. Definitely, definitely. But I want to finish the point off because I think, like you mentioned, Firmino. So he used to play centre forward, and Jimenez used to play behind him in Wolves. Firmino, on the other hand, it actually works. So for Klopp's actually forming a new complete formation, and this would go it straight into it formation because he wants to go 4-2-3-1. So Firmino will become the centre, and Jota will play ahead of him. That is the goal. But like apart from that, I don't know what's going to happen. But another reason why Liverpool, like you said, it's very hard to improve a good team, an already great team, to even better. But Liverpool are now regularly linked to Mbappe, the best
I
I
think.
just,
teenager in the world.
I mean, I
I would
think
like to,
he's. Say.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. I think that. I mean, yeah, he's been linked to Liverpool. I still think that he's going to go to Real Madrid instead of Liverpool. Now, there are some caveats into this. Now, I'm hearing that his contract's going to end if he signs a new contract with PSG just to get sold. Then
And then
Liverpool,
Liverpool's not getting
then Liverpool's not getting him. On the other
100%.
hand, just to even imagine the fact that PSG will let him go for free when they spent 200 or 180 million three or four seasons
180.
back is is just stupid business. I don't know why will PSG do
Yeah,
that.
agreed,
So
agreed.
Don't
if
forget,
yeah, so if
I
Mbappe
all I would
leaves,
say,
okay, yeah.
sorry, I'm all I'm going to say is that the Spanish teams are facing a lot of FPP as no fair play regulations.
Oh yeah, that
Um,
really affected Manchester City, right? That's going to affect Real Madrid and Barcelona as well.
No, no,
for
no, no,
180
no.
million, yeah. For 180
That's not
million,
what it.
yes.
Also, don't they have a clause or some rule that says you need to sell people to then bring someone? So I think Real Madrid will have to sell a huge amount of players to get in someone worth 180 million.
Yeah, but don't forget
So
that
it could be
Liverpool are in
possible.
regular
Could
talks.
be possible.
I say I'm going to tell you that there's a
It's
1% chance of this happening.
yeah, it's a very
Probably
far-fetched thing, of course. Yeah.
1.5% at max. But if he does not sign, I get it's shitty business from PFG. But if he does not sign a new contract, then yeah, I see him at Liverpool for sure. I mean,
Why
I
not?
think the fact that we could sign Thiago shows that now we are a destination club. Now we are a club that all the players want to come to. And we're competing with the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Juventus probably. But we are the club that everyone wants to be at, probably because
I mean, it's
of
just that Mbappe
Liverpool
has always
club.
mentioned Real Madrid like before that
Yeah,
that's the
Mm.
yeah,
destination he
yes.
wants to
As
go.
his dream
And
club. Yep.
if it happens where he goes for free, then Real Madrid don't have the obstacle of paying 180 million. Then it's much easier for them to get Mbappe in. So I mean, obviously, it
I would
could go either
agree.
way.
I would
You
agree with
never
that
know.
completely. But Mbappe wants to come to Liverpool.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that every
Yeah,
day
yeah,
until
you
it becomes
can.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew I was going to get slaughtered
I
on
mean,
that one. But don't forget, this is L'Equipe, the L'Equipe newspaper, the very well renowned reporter in France, has
uh,
said that Mbappe is in regular talks because he wants to work under Klopp.
And you trust the newspaper because you read that every day. You start reading that
I
yesterday.
trust, I trust news that I want to hear.
Okay.
the well said also.
Okay, now Harsh, tell me what the next one is. What is happening in the world of Spurs?
Spurs, right. So Tottenham have finally signed Gareth Bale up. So they've replaced Gareth Bale with Gareth Bale, right? Took them 7 years. They finally did it. And I mean, honestly, I don't know how it's gonna turn out. Bale is obviously a very good player. He's helped Real Madrid win so many trophies. Very underappreciated at Madrid. But I mean, the new stadium probably has a golf course, so I think Bale will have fun there. To be honest.
A
Yeah,
lot of funny things that were coming out on Twitter was that the moment he would link to Spurs, all the Spurs fans started mapping out all the closest golf clubs to the stadium to try and
right.
convince Gary Bale to come. So
To come
now
now.
it's gonna be Wales, Spurs, golf in that order.
Let's see. Let's see. Do you ever want to
What do
trust?
you think about that, Harsh Chetan?
Yeah, so Vihan, like you mentioned, the Tottenham fans did find out golf courses near Hotspur, but I would think he now really wants to get back to playing football, which is why I hope he made this deal. Or otherwise, Spurs would be would really have messed up this transfer. But it's really exciting to see someone who is the young PFA winner earlier in the Premier League come back to the Premier League. It's like one of the great comebacks, like Henry, Didier Drogba, few of those legends who's come back to the Premier League and perform. So I hope he brings that that X factor to Tottenham, which they
I
need
mean,
to win.
just to point it out, Henry came back, scored one goal in Carabao Cup, and he bounced again.
And left. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you need to calm down with your stats,
And
Chopra. Like
Drogba never
people
came
will
back.
start people
Drogba
will
never
start
came back.
hating you. Oh wait, Drogba did come back. Get your facts checked, guys. Guys, at them
Did
down
Drogba come back?
if you agree with me. Of course
I
he
don't
did.
remember. I don't.
That way, even bloody Paul Konchesky came back to
But what?
bloody the Premier League.
Who?
Yeah,
Paul
but he's not a
Konchesky.
legend, no. Yeah, talking
You
about
know,
legends,
legend.
guys. For the club,
He's
for the
not.
club. Before you say Bale is not a legend,
Mm.
I'm
Okay, we
like,
get your point.
no, but
We get your point.
Ah.
I mean,
because you're not the
other
one who argue with me, and now you're telling me I get your point. Okay,
we
now
have
you
to
shut the
correct
fuck
you.
up,
We have
and
to correct you.
let's get on to the next transfer, who is
No, wait. With
Chopra pronounce his
Spurs,
name.
with Spurs, Regulon.
He
Not
did
bad. You
practice a lot
pronounced
for
it
that.
By
right.
the way,
He
it's
did practice a lot.
yeah. You had to go to I had to go on Google and see how it sounds like. Yeah,
We put a screenshot of that up on the screen, so people can
Yeah, you
actually
should.
see. It's called reg as like regular, and then you lawn regulon.
yeah.
Go ahead, Chopra.
Nice.
So Regulon, yeah. I mean, United were going after him like we were with every player the full transfer window.
Oh god.
But eventually Spurs got him. Now, obviously, I mean, we've heard about the news where they've mentioned that Regulon, the deal that they've signed is it's very advantageous to Real Madrid than to Tottenham, and it shows a bit of desperation from them. So, Vian, what do you think? Like, do you think this is a move that's good for Tottenham, or they are just building up the player for Madrid?
See, the thing is that with Regulon, at least, he's absolutely, um, stunning in that right back position. I think, sorry, left back
Left back.
position. He's gonna give that. He's gonna give Ben Davies a lot of competition, and improve the Spurs team a lot. I think Spurs are doing some seriously good work in the transfer. So, anyways, getting back to Regulon, number one thing I'm happy about is that United didn't get him. So another paid window for them, unless they surprise me. Don't call me out on that. So it'll be interesting to see what happened with Regulon, but he's definitely gonna. He got a lot of potential to actually like bombard down that side. But coming to your question about Madrid, see the thing is that in that position they have Polan Mendy, they have Marcelo. They've got so many of these left back, right backs that Regulon won't get a good shot in it. He won't get a good game time. So this is actually a good deal for Madrid because he's going to get some more experience in the Premier League, and it's also a good deal for Spurs because it solidifies their defense a lot more.
I mean,
So yeah,
yeah, obviously, in looking at that perspective, Regulon, he will improve Tottenham. But getting back to the point of, I want to ask Harsh that question: is this a short-term move for Tottenham, like Bale and Regulon, both of these players? If Regulon does well, then he goes to Madrid. If he doesn't do well, then Tottenham have a bad player at their hands. So, Harsh, do you think that this is a very short-term plan for Tottenham?
Yeah, so I would agree partly, but I would also see the benefits that it brings to Tottenham. Like Tottenham also can make it to more viewership on television. It can get them more T-shirt sales because apparently correct me if I'm wrong, but the top eight get more TV casting than the below, which also affects. This is what I saw in a documentary. And now getting point, I know I'm really off topic, but getting to your point, Chopra, is yeah, I agree. It could be a short-term fix because Ben Davies is their only left back that I think Mourinho really believes in and stands by. So to give him some good competition, I think Reguilon will give him that and fight for the first place. Bale, I think it's a good signing. Not a good signing that we can only see once he starts playing and performing. But for sure, he's gonna get their sales go really high for their t-shirt.
I mean, I don't think that is the first thing they think about when they sign players.
Yeah,
Is
even
that
I,
I mean,
you're gonna get
I mean,
it
it
factors.
could go it could go both ways.
Yeah, I mean it
It does also
factors
factor.
factors
I
in,
must say, Harsh Chetan, we
but at
had you
the
on
end
this
of the
on this.
day, right? At the end of the day, they're gonna see how he performs and not how many shirts he sells. So
No, but no, that's
See
of
this.
course you're right, but that's also a plus point that people see during times like this. To money is a big factor that your clubs don't have people attending matches.
yeah, so you give clubs the money and people should lose out their money, right?
Bro, this is why we have
If you
Harsh
say
Chetan on
if
this
you say it
podcast.
that way, if you say it that way,
This
of
is,
course that sounds wrong, but
Harsh,
that's
guys.
not
you're
that's
now
not
Guys,
gonna
what.
buy Harsh, you're now gonna buy all the City jerseys
Oh no, I'm actually
so
planning
that
to
they
buy the
can.
third jersey. It looks
Okay,
pretty
okay,
fire,
okay.
guys. I
Calm down.
suggest I suggest
Calm
you all
down.
to
This
go
is
and buy it.
see, lad. This is why we took a 9 day break because of the amount of shit houses that happened on this shit. So, getting back on track to topic. Do you think that Spurs have a fighting chance for the top four with this kind of a squad? Tell me, Harsh Chetan.
I mean, of course, like their teams looks pretty solid right now, and after the win against Southampton, if they do continue their form of scoring and the team mentality is building out here. So if that continues, I see them really strong contenders for the top four.
That's interesting, actually. I mean, probably I think the next team that if Chelsea capitulate, then probably Chelsea will be out in top four. But I don't see Liverpool moving. I don't see City moving, and unfortunately, I don't see United moving. So and
Oh
Everton,
wow.
Everton's still a possibility.
Yeah, but I'm surprised you said United after their loss
Yeah,
in the first game at home.
I
I
mean,
I
yeah, I think they're gonna bounce back. I mean, in terms of Tottenham, I honestly don't see them getting top four this season, and this is due to the fact of their first performance where they did not play well. The second game they did not play well first half. They've had just one good half where they've scored goals, right? They've scored goals, but they've played two matches where they have not performed for two-thirds of those of the time there. So I still feel that Tottenham will not get into the top four. About United, well, I'm probably not
we
going
can
to
Time
have
will
that
tell.
conversation when
say.
it
Yeah,
comes.
only
Yeah, but
only time will tell. Yep.
I all I don't like about Spurs is that they don't have a replacement for Harry Kane in case he goes. Not even a suitable replacement. So, in my opinion, I think if Kane goes down, if Spurs goes down. I mean, sorry, if Kane goes down, if Sonny goes
Spurs
down,
good.
uh,
Yeah.
so I don't think who's going to play that. I don't know. I can't think of anyone else playing there right now. So yes, they've scored goals, but they've conceded as well. You know. So if you take out the goals which come from only Kane and Son, who's there? Who's left? There's no one left, you know.
Reguline,
So
Reguline.
Yeah, and even if
You know,
Bale, what about Bale, guys?
wrong.
Harsh, continue. Harsh, continue.
what if
he, he's
what
a
if Bale?
he's a
You said
regular.
what? Chopra, you practice. Come on.
Come on, Chopra.
Come on.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, no.
Continue,
But
Chetan.
if Bale can fill in the shoes for Harry, if he gets injured, which he's not currently, then yeah, then maybe let's see. Only time will tell.
Yeah, I guess if he's not playing golf, then I think he will definitely shift. So yeah, I mean that all the main transfer that's happening right now. So probably we can move on to our next segment, which Harsh Chopra is leading. So stay tuned for that. Here is a sponsor break. Yeah, thanks for that, guys. We don't have a sponsor. Still using the same thing. So please sponsor us.
I'm wearing last year's jersey. Can't buy the new jersey because we have no money. Please sponsor us. So now for the next segment, we are going to be talking about Fantasy Premier League. So a walk down fantasy lane. And yeah, there have been 2 game weeks done. Pretty mixed game weeks for me, at least. Game week 1 was decent. Game week 2 was horrible. I think that is probably my worst game week ever. Vihan, how was your FPL beginnings?
I think I had a pretty solid game week 2 to make up for my game week 1. I had a complete reversal of yours. So number one, Harsh Chopra got 26 or 28 points in game week 1. Sorry, in game week 2. And I
Oh
can I can I
God.
can personally I can personally vouch for the fact that this is not his worst game week. So I've seen
One
him get
second.
13 points.
It is my worst game
Vian,
week.
is that 28 after he took the -8 or
No, it's
before the
it's
-8?
29 before -8, so it's 21. 21.
So
Oh my
21,
God.
21
I
points.
I legit got 21 points in my first 3 players that
I got
played in
70
the second
points.
game.
I
Oh
got
God.
70 points, so I'm
Oh
happy.
yeah.
So
Yeah. My
Harsh,
first. Hmm.
go ahead.
My first 2 game weeks have been pretty solid. Like I'm currently I'm sitting on top of both of these people. So FPL legend Bihan,
Two
you need to
two
calm down.
weeks.
Whatever. That we are
All I,
battering Chopra for 2 weeks, and it's now 2 weeks.
I apologize. I apologize.
Yeah, of course.
I want to make this very clear to everyone watching that Harsh Chopra is a very sentimental kind of a manager. He put more of his favorite options in, like United options in. So
Oh
that's why
God.
he generally does not really live up to the marks of United as such.
You know,
And
hold on. These 2 seasons, the only 2 players that I've put from United are Bruno Fernandes and Martial.
and
Right?
Rashford
I've
and
never
Wan
put
Bissaka.
Rashford in my team. I've never put
Wait,
Van
wait.
Bissaka. I put him for 1 week, but I've never put Rashford in my
Exactly.
team.
And you also
But
did
hold
Okay,
on, that's
De
still
Gea.
reasonable. I've never put De Gea. Please, I'm
Don't
not
lie.
that stupid.
please.
I've never put De Gea. I
Do you
swear
have
to God,
proof
I've
of
never
it?
put De Gea.
Do you have
Do you
proof?
have proof of this?
You
Come
proof? Okay,
on,
sure.
So he put Daya then, dude. No, clearly,
Of
bro.
course
He
he
put
did.
Daya. Okay, go
But
Anyways,
ahead, Chopra.
hold on.
hmm,
Vian, I asked you a question. How was your game week? Why are you putting it on me? Talk about your game week. All right. That
Because my game week
uh,
was not that great in the start. Okay, believe it or not, I in the first game week my rank was 4.5 million. So you can imagine how bad I was in the first game week. But fortunately, my second game week was pretty good. I got 70 points and probably bringing an overall of 110 totally. So I think so far it's been a very average start, but I'm looking to build on it soon.
also,
So yeah,
talking about FA points, did you have any of the players who scored hat tricks these first and the second game week?
no.
Oh shit,
I
that's
know.
bad.
Are you trying to like lead yourself up to this?
Of
Go
course.
ahead.
How
Go
how
ahead.
can someone being a Liverpool supporter who knows every first game of the season Salah scores, yet
Yeah,
a man like
I kind of
we
had
had
I would
when
like to clarify that everyone had Salah. So I thought
exactly
it was
you
the
told
right
us to take
time to
Salah.
be
yeah,
I
You were
agree.
like,
I agree. I
I'm
agree
just
on that.
wait.
I
Hold on.
agree.
I'm just gonna point this out. Before the first game week, for the first, I think, episode 3, 4, and 5, Vihan had pointed it out to us that Salah scores in
exactly,
first match, and he was
exactly my point.
and it was, I think we had done a top 3 players for FPL, and
Must have, or
Yeah.
must have, yeah,
so what happened?
Yeah.
yeah.
How did
What
So
happened?
Mane enter your
I
team?
my whole thinking behind this was that yeah, I knew Salah was going to score, but I thought Mane was going to perform like as well. And considering that he's a differential, I thought that maybe going for him would be a little more like give a good boost as such. I get it was risky, and I know Salah always scores, but like you gotta be different. Otherwise, you're gonna
And
But
get four and a
it
half
did
million.
clearly work for you. I mean,
I mean, to be honest,
Hang
Mane
on,
did
he
score
did
two
score
goals.
two.
Yeah,
yeah,
the game.
He did
exactly,
score two.
exactly. He did score 2, but not a 3.
I mean, yeah, but he's like 7 points behind Salah, so it's still average. Like overall, it's all right.
All right,
I would still hold on Mane for a bit.
let's take it away from Liverpool now. We've already spoken
Oh
too
yeah.
much about Liverpool. Other players, right? So Son 4 goals. Anyone had Son?
No. that was
I
that
had
was like,
Son.
All right,
Yeah,
I
what
had
are you
I had
Son.
saying?
Son.
Right, let me get this out on right now. I had Son. Right, replaced him with Bruno Fernandes. Captained Bruno
It
Fernandes.
cracks me every time. It gets me every time.
Hold on.
He's been, as soon as he saw Sun score's first goal, he put on our group.
No,
Like, guys,
Son,
this is what
Son
happened.
scored 1 goal. I was like,
Okay,
okay,
let
fine.
him go
One
on.
goal is okay. All right. Then he scores 2 goals. I'm like, okay, this is not good. Then he scores a hat trick. I'm like, this is a very bad game week. Then he scores 4 goals. I'm like, why do you need to score 4 goals? Just score 3 goals. Who the fuck scores 4 goals every time? When you scored
Uh,
4 goals, when I took -8 and I put Bruno Fernandes in and I captained him. To be
oh
fair,
God,
I did put Sterling in as well,
Oh my God.
I
and
can't.
he also didn't really perform that well. He got 1 assist. But the point
Oh
being
Oh
God.
my God.
is that I
Oh
had
my
a
God.
Bro, you had a shit
A
game week.
shambolic week. Like
yeah.
how apna
Shambolic.
Also,
I would say.
shambolic.
by the way, I
Mhm.
put Calvert Lewin as well. Then I removed him last minute because
Oh,
That doesn't count.
to
That doesn't
accommodate
count.
no
Everyone does this.
no to accommodate Sterling. That's what my point
oh
was.
God, shit.
So
Interesting. He
yeah,
also
In
scored.
simple, you don't want to be Chopra at this moment. In
yeah,
simple.
I
Yeah,
don't want.
basically.
I mean, it's to be honest, it's normal for every game week, but for
Oh,
this particularly,
Yeah, I think Harshit is reeling from the loss of United and the loss of Son scoring 4 goals
yes,
and him
yeah.
captaining Bruno.
Bruno.
So yeah, but what's really surprising is that there have already been 3 hat tricks in
Of
two
course.
game weeks.
And
So
I
I mean,
think the game week 2 was like around 40 goals or something like that. It broke the
38,
record, right? Yeah, that was a
38.
record breaking game week.
But
There
Yeah,
were
for
goals
you
after
guys,
crazy.
goals.
right? Like for you guys, after
Yeah.
seeing Son and Kane performing, does this change your dynamic for Tottenham players? Like, do you think you guys are gonna put Tottenham players, Chetan?
I mean, Sun is looking really enticing right now, and of course, like I'm an FPL manager who goes on form more than fixtures. So I would take into consideration to get Sun in, but I would hold on right now because I do clearly don't want to take a -8 like
So if
Hull.
you're saying
So hold on.
you're saying this that if Son scores 4 goals and if his next match was against Liverpool, you would still pick Son.
Yeah, because if a team, I like that's a person. That's how I play FPL. Is I go
And
to see
that's
if
why you
someone.
always rank below me. Go ahead.
I know, yeah, but above Chopra, so chill.
I was above you last season, by the way.
Whoa, relax. Let's keep it PG-13. No one wants to hear what you do, please.
What?
And I totally did not consent to this. I was held account. Please, don't. Okay, okay, okay,
This is
okay,
why
okay.
we
Let's
didn't
get
have
back to
her.
topic.
This is why we didn't
Let's
have her
get
last weekend, and
and it was
we
a
had hope.
really good show because Dutch really stole the show.
Yep,
Shout
he
out
did
to
well.
Dutch.
He
Yeah.
spoke some
Okay.
sense.
Getting
What the
back to the
fuck?
Spurs topic,
Uh,
I think Chopra, you asked a very important question that would you actually have Spurs assets in your team? And I think to that I would say that they've got 8 matches in the next week, in the next month,
Yeah.
with Spurs Europa qualifications and the EFL stuff like that. They've got a lot of stuff going on, and like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, that they have strengthened in terms of squad depth, but one person gets injured out of Kane, Son, Ali, probably even Los Elsos, who would become integral. Um, I don't see them doing as well as they have in this game week particularly. And I also mentioned that it's very rare to see Spurs score like 4 goals, 5 goals in one game.
Yep.
So I mean, taking that into consideration, I don't see this happening week in week out, which might keep Son and Kane's ceiling a little lower, but they are extremely explosive, and their price tag justifies that. So as
Also,
of
I mean,
now, I would
yeah.
not.
Continue. Yeah. Okay.
No,
I
that's
mean,
all I want to say.
also taking into consideration that Bale is going to come into the team sooner rather than later. Does that
Yep.
does that mean Bale is now the focal point in the team other than Kane and Son? Because Tottenham, they rely so heavily on Son, say what am I saying? Son and Kane. Now that Bale has come in, You think? I mean, we can talk about him like he's 9.5 million.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to be in your team in the future?
So I mean, say from Bale's perspective, he hasn't really had much experience. He's not match fit, and I think in FPL also it mentioned there that not match fit.
Yeah.
So to reacclimate himself to the Premier League would take some time. I think 9.5 is too high. In my opinion, I was expecting 8.5 to 9 rather than consider Son 9.5, and he's so well,
Mm.
tested in the Premier League and he's so well tested in FPL. 9.5 is really high, so that might put off a lot of people. But like when Bale gets into form, I can see him being part of my team in the later end of the season.
Right.
Yeah,
So let's switch to the other London team, right? Arsenal. We had Aubameyang, who was, I think he was the most captained for game week 2, and he didn't perform that well. Right now, he has some tough fixtures going ahead. And considering that he's 12 million, right? If he's 12 million, if he's in your team, you expect him to score or assist every game. Uh,
yeah.
so do you guys have Oba? Like I removed Oba for game week 2, but what about you guys? Do you guys have him, or do you guys plan to keep him or bring him in? Chetan?
I mean, Harsh Chetan's above me, so let him go first.
Yeah, so I actually have
Respect.
Oba, but I don't see him staying in my team because I had brought him in because we didn't have any City or United player playing, and my strategy was to remove him once I see how City and United play in their first game week of the EPL. So now I think I'll remove him and I will shift on to like a De Bruyne or a Bruno Fernandes. Because I don't see Arsenal performing because their next 3 game weeks are really tough. They're playing Liverpool and correct me if I'm wrong, but
Spurs,
it's United.
Chelsea, United,
United, exactly.
Wolves,
And I don't
Leicester,
see him
Man
scoring
City.
goal after goal in these games. So for me, he's out.
I mean,
Yeah,
to
I,
to
I
to
mean, like
really
probably.
but to really be on Oba's side, right? Arsenal, when they score, it's probably mostly through Oba. So you can give him that benefit of the doubt that he might still score, but still it's a pretty
Yeah.
expensive bet to
Yeah,
have.
he's
You
really his
could
So
price tag is
Aubameyang has scored 3 goals against Liverpool. Just putting it out there that they are playing Liverpool next, and he has scored 3 goals against Liverpool
yeah.
the last time we played. So
I
it
mean
is in terms of Aubameyang's side. Yeah,
but to be honest, in that amount of money, you would rather have a Salah or a Mane if you had to choose.
definitely, definitely
So
for a long run. Yeah.
yeah, so that would be something to consider. But yeah,
So
United played their first match, didn't perform well. None of the United players performed well. Obviously, Martial, Rashford, Bruno are pretty important players in terms of FPL. Does
Greenwood.
this, and Greenwood as well, pretty cheap as well. Does this change your opinion about them for FPL, particularly, Vihan?
See, the thing is that with United, they will bounce back. You just have to give them a little bit of space. I think, all 3 of them and even Greenwood, they're very explosive players. You never know when they're going to perform, when they're not going to perform, and when they're, like going to get like 20 points and stuff like that. So all 4 of them are capable of it. Let's get that clear. So it would be interesting to see what happens. But right now, I think United are just out of form. Yeah, Crystal Palace played well, but United seemed like they needed a little bit of push, and they just did not seem themselves. So maybe you can blame it down to match fitness. Maybe you can blame it down to Crystal Palace being better, or like how Klopp always says that it was really windy that day. So probably I would give it another game week, but I
I
do
mean,
have Martial in my team. So I do have a little bit of insurance, you would say, in case they go and get explosive.
Yeah, I
did
Yeah.
you
think
notice that their right hand side was really scary? I would say they had Daniel James, they had who was the right back. I mean, they
Fosu
didn't have
Mensah.
their
Fosu
main
Mensah.
players. So I mean, of course, I wouldn't judge them basing on their one performance. But let's see once Greenwood and Van Bissaka and all come back to the first team. Yeah, they have a good chance.
So,
Definitely.
any of your players in that team, Chetan? Do you have any of the
For
United players in
me,
your team?
no. I'll be shifting only to a City player, and I'll bring in mostly De Bruyne or Sterling. None of
Yeah,
the
I
United
have
guys.
I have I have changed out Oba from to De Bruyne, so I've made that switch already. Unfortunately, I missed the price rise, but like I mean, I still had to have him,
But
so
prices
that's
are rising
unfortunate.
and dropping every freaking game week, and they're
Yeah,
dropping fast. But no, it's
yeah.
so
But
tough. Like
anyways,
it makes you want to change at that moment, but then what if further on in the week the boy's
dude,
injured, the
dude,
lad's injured?
De Bruyne scored the penalty, and within 5 minutes of him scoring the penalty, the price rose. Like, how can you
Exactly.
catch these things? I
Yeah,
literally checked after the Wolves game, and his price had gone up.
already
Like, it
up
was so
exactly, and
fast.
it makes you make impulse decisions. Then, and what if he gets
Yeah,
injured? It's like a waste. It's like a scene that Chopra had all
true.
over again. Again, -8 left.
I
That was our impulse
love how
decision.
I'm bantering him.
All
Oh
right. I
god.
mean, obviously,
Okay.
FPL is making it difficult for all of us this season. Their prices are pretty big. But one team we've not spoken about, Everton, and the fact that they are scoring so many goals now. We have a few players that we can talk about: Calvert-Lewin and James Rodriguez.
Rodriguez,
Calvert-Lewin has scored a hat trick, and he scored a goal in his first match as well, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and James
Yeah.
Rodriguez has got a few assists and a goal. So these two players, do you guys think that these two players are going to be consistent with their performances for the season beyond?
See, the thing is with James, at least, Ancelotti loves him. Everywhere they've gone together, James has performed amazing. Whether it's Bayern, whether it's Real Madrid, so now it's Everton. So I mean, you can tell for sure that James is one to stay, and Ancelotti really depends on him. So I would definitely say that James is in consideration because of the amount of support that he has. And Calvert Lewin is in superb form. They both come at a very cheap price of 7.2, which is Calvert Lewin, and 7.5, which is James Rodriguez. They have some solid form going into the next game week. So I think Harsh and you must be looking at them.
wait,
So
I
I would
already
say
have
that,
Rodriguez. I did a smart thing and brought him in for the game with you. So he
I
did
mean, I'm
perform a
glad you did.
goal and an assist.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about the fact that Rodriguez is really solid right now. So I would definitely consider him, but not for this game week. This game week is more De Bruyne. So yeah, that's my plans as of now.
Agreed.
What do you think about? Uh, yeah, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think you covered it. Yeah, really well.
Great. Okay, so I think this could be the end of a long, long podcast for us. So stay tuned for a lot of segments and dissecting of this. And thanks a lot for keeping in touch with us and constantly SMSing us and DMing us and stuff. Please continue doing that. We do reply to every one of y'all because we have like almost 4 fans now. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But like, we
Oh
love the
God,
support we're getting so far, and we want to know that we're receiving it with a massive appreciation. So yeah, I think we're done for today. Yeah.
Please
yep,
like and subscribe, and the usual shit that Vihan keeps on
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So, like I said,
And
I don't know the outro, but like, share, subscribe, follow. We leave all our description down. We leave all our links to the FPL Mini League, the Twitter, the Instagram handle, whatnot. So, yeah, I don't know the outro, but yeah, I guess thanks a lot for watching and thanks for joining us, lads. It was a good
see
one.
ya.
see you.
Okay, cheers. See you guys. Bye.